Says we are live.
Cool. Need to see us playing on there as long as I can see the chat.
You know, all this time I never knew your first name was Garth. It's pretty bad when you're only known by your Twitter handle.
Yeah, it's not something I kind of have publicly visible in a lot of places, but some of the places where I have my stuff posted, it is. But I'm not exactly a fan of my name. So, you know.
That's a cool name, man.
Well, yeah, I think I just copped a lot of shit for it when I was growing up, especially once Wayne's World came out.
Trying to see who was it. Just text. Make sure it's not something. Let's see. Oh, it's Wish. Wish is wishing I'd spend some money with him.
You wish.
Eddie says, "Party on, Garth."
Yeah, man. Party on, Wayne.
It's been so many years since I saw that movie.
Yes, Mad Monkey, I do have a real name, unfortunately.
Yeah. How are you feeling today? You're looking good.
I'm feeling as probably as okay as I can get. My ribs are still a little sore from stacking it on the stairs on Monday night. I went upstairs to go to the bathroom and get ready for watching J-Tog, and I was walking downstairs and just passed out and woke up at like 9 a.m. sprawled out in the stairs.
Oh, God.
So that was fun.
Oh, man.
But yeah, apart from that, I'm not too bad. My head's doing okay at the moment. I've only been up for about an hour or so should be good for a little while yet.
Well, what time is it there?
Currently, it's about 1:25 in the afternoon. So
awesome.
Yeah, it's decent timing. Still got a couple of hours to try and do stuff.
Try to make it to the pawn shop.
Well, that kind of fell through.
Did it?
Yeah, I rang them up and because I looked at trying to get rid of my GBA online, and people are selling them for about $100. So I'm like, okay, well, I got cartridge thing as well, so $150. Called them up, and the dude's like, oh, yeah, we'll probably give you like $30 for it. I'm like, I'm not driving all the way down there for that. Nuts to that. So yeah, meh.
I know it seems like when you're down, everybody wants to stomp on you.
Yeah, I got another SMS from my internet provider this morning going, oh, your payment didn't clear. But luckily I was able to get hold of them online and said, somebody took money out of my account at the same time you were supposed to, so can you please wait till next week? And they're like, okay.
Oh, good.
Yeah, they actually deferred it till like the 1st of next month or something. So,
well, that's good. Give you a little bit more time.
Yeah, should be sweet.
Man,
what have you been up to apart from
other than throwing my back out?
And that.
I go to get in the vehicle yesterday. I raised my right leg up to get into the seat, and it's like somebody took a knife and just stabbed me right in the lower back.
Yeah.
And I don't know if I twisted something or what, but it's definitely a pinched nerve. But it's doing better today. I'm still not able to stand up straight, but it's better than it was. At least I don't feel like somebody's taking a taser to my back now. There for a while, yesterday, just every time I do something, you just hear that where just like that nerve gets hit. Oh.
Yeah, that's what the right side of my back was like earlier this week, late last week, when I sneezed. And I went out, and like even now, if I kind of lean the wrong way, it still aggravates it. But as long as I kind of lift myself up in my chair carefully like that, it's not too bad at the moment. So
About 2 years ago, that's what started me with having to go to the chiropractors. I was putting together a barbecue pit, and I was underneath putting the little side table thing on it, and I sneezed when I was kind of twisted, and I could feel it pop in my back. And man, it took me probably a month to get over that.
even you talking about it makes it hurt. Just I remember the feeling so vividly. I was like sitting right here, and I just went, true. And the second I did it, I was just like, oh my God. And I couldn't move for like the next 3 hours. And then when I finally was able to kind of swivel myself around and move to the couch, it was agony. It took me like half an hour to find a comfortable way to lie down, and I just stayed there for like 6 hours. Not fun.
Aaron's saying that he couldn't even walk 2 weeks ago. His back's been giving him problems. I think it's just going around right now. For over here, it's that time of year where we're kind of getting out of the winter time, so we can start getting out, moving around. And so now it's starting to, I think, catch up to everybody.
It's coming into winter time here. We're now second month of autumn, but you wouldn't know it. It's still summer.
Yeah.
Still have days over 30 degrees. Sucks.
Oh, I could imagine.
See, you lovely people, I put a shirt on just for you.
What's it say?
It's
nice.
Hell awaits. I don't know if you Americans would get it, but this dude is like Cardinal Pell, who he was the highest Catholic dude in Australia, and he went to work in the Vatican and all that, and he was busted for being a pedophile. So this band made a T-shirt about it. Pell awaits. So yeah, and he just got shipped back to Australia a little while ago and went to court and all that, and they found him guilty and everything. So yeah, suck it, fucking kitty fiddlers. I hate them.
I know,
filthy little buggers.
There's a special hell for them.
Yeah.
Just unfortunately, they don't get there fast enough.
Profile. Yeah, it really makes you wonder, how those people live with themselves, trying to show them off as being good Catholic people and religious and all that, and preaching to all these people, and yet they go and do disgusting things like that behind their backs. It's so wrong.
I know it. Whenever somebody is in power that way and then they abuse that power, that's the worst kind of low that there is.
Absolutely.
You have to just take a stinking piano wire to them and be done with it.
Yeah. Just lock them up in a room full of hardcore prisoners and make them fiddle with them.
Yeah. So, what printer do you have now?
Me, I still have my resin printer. That's it.
Nice. Now, you've got the Anycubic?
No. Mine's a Gizmo 3D.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's a not exactly a hobbyist machine. It's more industrial. It's about that wide, or maybe that square, I should say, and probably I don't know if you can even see me, but probably that tall off the floor. It's pretty huge.
Man, that must take quite a bit of resin.
The vat that I've got in there at the moment holds around 3 liters, I think. And give me a sec. I'll show my other vat.
Yeah, TK say it holds about 3 liters of resin.
This is not good for the back, but this is my other vat.
Man.
And
looks like a torture device.
that's the build plate. So you can see how big that is compared to my face. It's like about 400 across that way by 225 that way.
Wow.
And about 130, 135 deep. This one holds about close to 7 liters of resin, I think. Oh, ow.
Man.
Yeah, that's heavy. Oh, that's not good for the back.
No, it's not. Wow. Do you do quite a bit of printing with it?
I haven't in the last couple of months just because of my head and all the crap that happened, like, for the past maybe a month or close to 2 months. I've barely been able to sit up for more than like an hour or two at a time. It's only in the last couple of weeks that I've been able to sit up for 3 or more hours. But yeah, this week, next week, I'm probably going to start printing some stuff again. Been trying to get some models out while I have been able to sit up, just to try and bring in some money. But stupid me went and made really awkward models that are not easy to deal with. Like my Uncle Grandpa one. Everybody knows I like to make models that are good for printing in multicolors and multi-parts, but the way that his body and everything is constructed, there's no nice, easy way to chop it up. Like with SpongeBob, everything was kind of linear and made with dimensions, but because he's all curvy, I had to do it with forms with infusion, and there's no nice, easy way to do tolerances on that.
Yeah.
Except in the latest update, they kind of changed the thicken tool, and they've added more options, which I only discovered just yesterday or something. So that's helped me a bit, because now you can actually take a form and thicken it by 0.2 millimeters. So just add that much dimension around the entire form, and you can tell it whether to do it from an edge or via the normals or at an angle. So I'm still working on it, but almost there.
Man, that's cool.
Yeah, much better than it was before, because previously the only way you could kind of get those tolerances in was to actually scale forms. And of course, scaling works on a factor. So you tell it to scale it by a factor of 0.1 or 0.2, but there's no way to tell how much that actually is. So annoying.
Looks like we're losing Rick. Have a good night, Rick. Thanks for joining.
See you, Rick.
It looks like we're losing Calvin too. How you doing, Calvin?
Hey, Cow.
You've been replaced by the Aussies.
Poor Cow. Hope you're doing all right, man.
I think he's going to be down, this weekend.
Cool. You gonna record something together?
Don't know. We'll figure something out.
Sweet. I've seen he's been working on his train stuff lately.
Yeah, he's been doing a lot of train work. I think he's got another train show coming up soon. Yeah, he's not going to go with me to Maker Fair this year. He's decided to skip out on me. He doesn't love me no more. You know this, right? Doesn't love me no more. I don't know what's going to happen with the children, you know.
As long as he pays child support.
Yeah, exactly.
Not that he can afford it.
Split custody or something. Who knows?
He gets those weird chili candy things to give to the kids. What are they, like mango and chili or something?
So how is your health? Are you starting to do any better, or
sort of.
yeah?
Bits of me are like the issues I was having a few months ago. Yeah, when I had the hole in my skull and they did the operation, everything kind of went well, and then I had another issue with an infection in the brain after that, which is kind of what caused my recent downtime with not being able to sit up and all that. But my shoulder is actually getting worse as well. They're starting to suspect it's more than just the arthritis and bursitis, because now I can't really lift heavy things with that arm without causing agonizing pain. And the other night I kind of reached over my body like that to grab something off the bench and I almost went through the bloody roof. So they're going to do an MRI on this shoulder to see if they can figure out what's wrong with that. But yeah, getting there. Heal one thing, kill something else.
Well, at least you got your sense of humor still.
Yeah, that's one thing I don't think they'll ever get rid of.
Man.
I mean, if you can't laugh at something, what hope you got? I'd probably just be a depressed puddle on the floor if I couldn't laugh at myself in that sense.
Man.
Well,
hopefully they get things start getting all figured out.
Yeah, well, like I said, they're slowly kind of getting there. It's just every time something gets fixed, something else breaks, and that's been the biggest problem. Then with the costochondritis in my chest and the arthritis in the shoulder, like obviously that's going to be going on for a while, if not forever. But yeah, now that they're kind of suspecting something else might be up with the shoulder, who knows? Because she said that I shouldn't be getting that severe kind of pain from lifting things, and the fact that my shoulder kind of locks up when I put my arm up to about there and I can't move it any further makes them think there's something else wrong. So,
man,
fingers crossed it's not too severe and don't need surgery, but we'll see.
If you lived here in the States, I would say go get tested for Lyme disease. But I don't know if they have deer ticks over there.
I'd probably have offed myself a long time ago if I lived in the States, because I'd probably be, in debt for like millions of dollars with the amount of health stuff I've had over the past couple of years. Like, most of it has been covered by Medicare, and I dread to think how much that would have actually cost over there. Yeah, considering the few things that I've had to pay for, like this one of the particular MRIs that I got wasn't covered by Medicare, and it cost me like $700. And to think that I've had like probably 4 or 5 standard MRIs, numerous X-rays, CAT scans, all that kind of shit. Not to mention all the medication over the years, and surgeries. I would, probably be hundreds of thousands of dollars in debt if I lived in the US.
I believe it.
So yeah, very, very grateful. Now I'll just
I'll do a
go.
quick shout out real quick to Tanera. Thank you for the $2 donation. I just wanted to say it before it disappears from the screen. Thank you so much.
Yes.
But yeah, and Eddie's making a point where why do people think we don't have insurance in America, which we do, but at the same time they don't cover everything unless if you have certain, how do I say this? If financially you're in a certain spot, they'll cover you. If you're not, you're in this little in between spot where they just rape you.
Yeah. But you guys, like, even if you're in the lower kind of bracket, you have to actually pay something for the insurance before they'll cover costs of things, don't you?
Well, if you have a job, depending on your income and the type of job you've got, determines what kind of insurance you get. Like if your employer does not have insurance where they offer it to you, then you can go through what they call Obamacare, or it's they have another name for it, but everybody just calls it Obamacare. And you usually get it for a reduced price. But the thing is, they still have copays, and you're still responsible for a portion of it. Which, in your situation, it just kind of gathers up. If you are below a certain wage for the year, if you have a certain economic standing that way, they go and you can qualify for Medicaid, or here in California it's called Medi-Cal, in which case they cover everything and it doesn't cost you anything.
Oh, well, that's not too bad. Because yeah, that's kind of more like what it's like here with Medicare. Like if you earn, like, I think less than 80 or 90,000 a year or something, you're not forced to get private health insurance, which means you can be on Medicare, and pretty much 99% of everything is covered.
Oh, wow.
But like once you earn over a certain amount, you basically have to get private health insurance or they tax you more. And yeah, I don't know which one really works out better, but at the moment I don't have to pay for any of that. But yeah, 99% of things are covered. There's a few kind of new cancer medications that aren't, and a few certain procedures like that particular type of MRI I had. But you know, most of the things that your general hospital visit would incur, no charge at all, which is just
wow,
fantastic.
That is. Do they make up for it with income tax, or is there how do they make up the difference on it?
Yeah, everybody is taxed a certain amount. You know, I'd assume they don't sort of single it out, I think. But you know, part of what we pay in tax is put towards Medicare. It's been that way since like the 50s or 60s or something, I think. Quite a while ago. Yeah.
It's like up in Oregon, they don't have sales tax, but I hear the property taxes make up the difference. They usually find one way or another to get things paid for.
Yeah, it's weird. Like I know in Hong Kong, they basically pay hardly any tax at all, but property prices are through the roof, and they get all of their tax from property because like the government basically owns all of the land, and they basically lease it out to the people to live in, and they pretty much get all of their taxes from property tax.
Yeah,
and that's why businesses love going over there, because they don't have to pay hardly any tax on their profits and all that kind of stuff. But obviously, people who live there it's a nightmare because, you're looking at millions and millions of dollars just to get a tiny little 2-bedroom house.
Like
Strange.
Daenerys says, the U.S. pays more for healthcare than any other wealthy country in the world. That includes taxes. I believe it.
Yeah, I'd believe it too.
I think with my mom when she was going through all the chemo treatments and all that, I saw some of those bills that are coming through. Man, the one time there was a bottle of pills that was sitting on the table. I looked at that and said, "You realize that is a car?" I mean, when you're looking at a bottle of 30 pills and it's $14,700, and that's the price of a Nissan Sentra, a brand new on a car lot.
Yeah, I saw something on TV a couple of weeks ago where they were saying that this one bottle of like 100 pills or something was like $20,000, and like over here they're covered by Medicare. We pay $5 if we're on a healthcare card. If like for me, as a recipient of the sickness benefit, I get healthcare card. If you don't have a healthcare card, it costs you like $35 or something.
Yeah.
So lots of the medications are subsidized by Medicare, even if you don't have a low income, which is just fantastic.
That's one thing that is really off base here in the States is the fact that pharmaceutical companies feel that they can take and just completely price gouge the Americans, and then they go to all the other countries, and it's always like you said, it's a lower cost, but they make up the difference here in the States. But the thing is, they know good and well the majority of the healthcare, the insurance companies will pay a good portion of it. Although it kind of makes you wonder, do they actually pay it, or do they just get it for that reduced price and they stick it to those that don't have the insurance?
Well, I believe that we probably do pay the same or close to the same, but it's because of our pharmaceutical benefit scheme run by the government that we pay out of our pocket less. That's why, like every year and every election, they're always talking about, how many medications they're going to, set aside money for to get put onto the pharmaceutical benefit scheme, because the new ones, especially the cancer drugs and stuff, they're insanely expensive, and if they're not covered by the PBS, you have to pay for it out of pocket or use your health insurance to get it. So I think we do still get charged close to the same, if not the same as you guys, but I still find that ridiculous. Like if they've got the capacity to pump out the millions of pills that they do for all these people around the world day after day, how the hell can they justify charging that amount for it? Sure, license it to somebody else to do charge them a lot, but once they've come up with the formula and they've got the manufacturing down, surely the ingredients to make these things can't cost $20,000 for 50 pills. Like, I call bullshit on that.
You know what they try to use as an argument? They try to say, well, we're recouping our costs of drug development.
Mm-hmm.
They're claiming they put all this money into developing this drug to take care of whatever it is. And so because of that, they feel that they're legitimate in charging the prices they charge.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like you. I'm like, really? I mean, right now they've got cancer drugs coming out nearly monthly right now.
Mm-hmm.
And unless these have been been in development for the last 10 years and suddenly they're just now coming out, kind of makes you wonder about it.
Yeah. But, even if they have been in development for 10 or so years, they've been selling all these other drugs for those 10 years. Like, shouldn't that kind of cover some of the costs? It's not like they've just been sitting in a lab not making any money for the past 10 years.
Yeah.
Like, that's what seems ridiculous to me. If you had been sitting in your lab for 10 years not making a dime, okay, maybe. But they haven't.
Yeah, I think they just go a little too far. It's just like with that EpiPen that they've got here. If you eat lobster or whatever and you're allergic to it, they have this EpiPen where you shoot it in your leg and it takes away the I forget what the exact word is for it, but it's a type of shock that you go into. Pretty much your throat swells up. Yeah, that's it.
Yeah.
And I think it went up from like $30 or something like that at one time, and now it's like 700 or something like that.
Jeez.
Yeah, it's like it all had to do with the fact of, well, we've got it, nobody else does. And so they have a generic version of it, but they developed the pen. And the pen is you take it, you stick it in your leg. I don't know if it does it automatically or if you have to poke something or whatever, but it gives you a dose on its own. So the delivery system is where they're trying to say that that's the reason for the cost.
Right. That's balls.
Yeah, that's exactly what I thought too. And then the newest one wasn't the newest one where it had to do with the AIDS drug, and because it proved to be really good, now all of a sudden they've just raised the cost just astronomically to pretty much stick it to people. It's like, come on.
Yeah, that's a bit wrong, especially if it works.
Yeah. Hey, Christopher says it's auto-injected. That's what, because you stick it in your leg or whatever and it just automatically just shoots it in.
Yeah, how hard could it really be to make something like that? I don't think that'd be terribly difficult to try and come up with an alternative.
Yeah. Italy got it on The Rock for you ever see that movie, The Rock?
Mm-hmm.
Where you're supposed to stab it in your. Hey, they had it.
At least it's not like bloody Pulp Fiction. Like the needle is that long, you have to get through your breastbone. Oh. Ouch.
We're losing Mad Monkey. Have a good one, Mad Monkey.
Ciao.
How you feeling?
Yeah, I'm doing all right still.
Okay, if you get to feeling like it's time, you tell me.
Can do.
I don't want to keep you up and get you sick.
No, I'll probably be all right. I need to go and get some painkillers anyway. Because I've got some painkillers, but can't take too many of those because they're a bit strong. I run out of Panadol, but I'll be all right for a little while. Just itchy now. So you been printing anything lately?
I've been a bad 3D printer. I haven't printed anything for a few days.
Well, you're doing better than me. I haven't printed anything for a few months.
I printed out 4 block things, which I'm going to try putting the video together. I was going to try doing it before the stream, but once we finish the stream, I'm going to go lay down and straighten my back out, and hopefully it'll be better in the morning. But I'll have it out by this weekend. I had a display at work that for the floor mats for inside cars, where I had to take the shelves off of the backside of this other shelving unit, and I attached them to the wall. But because they have these prongs that stick out, I didn't want it gouging into the wall, So I made these brackets that kind of matched what it was made out of, kind of the shape and everything, and screwed it to the wall using that as for spacers. And it actually turned out really pretty good.
Spacers!
What's that?
Ivan would be proud of you for using spacers. Spacers!
Spacers!
Oh shit, I forgot about that. I've run out of Christmas songs to use for Ivan Eve. I don't know what I'm going to do now. Damn.
What's that?
Every Friday, I write an Ivan Eve song. Basically, use a Christmas carol, but make it about Ivan, and tweet it out. Happy Ivan Eve. Yeah. And now I've run out of Christmas songs to use, so I don't know what I'm going to do.
Uh-oh.
Just start reusing ones I've done before, or move on to something else. Damn. That's a problem. I come up with something soon.
How long did it take you to write up that rap song you did a while back for the 3D printing community?
I think it was just shy of a week, because I did most of it probably in a couple of hours, but then as I started to kind of lay it out, I found little bits that I needed to add things into, and by adding bits in, I needed to chop and change things. So yeah, overall it was probably about a week to do the actual written side of it, and then actually recorded it in, I don't know, 2 hours or something, with them do the recording and the chopping and the editing and all that crap. Which I was pretty pleased.
God's name did me and Calvin make it on that?
A lot of people mentioned in that. Probably a lot of people who I would mention now, but I didn't even know at the time. But yeah, I still look back at that list that I tweeted out of all the people who got a mention in one way or another in that song. I'm like, damn, how did I manage all that? Yeah, I think Sahil tweeted a 3DP rap the other day, or about a week ago or something, and he's like, "Oh, this is going to be the best 3D printing rap ever." And I'm like, let me show this to you. He messaged me back, and he's just like, "That was amazing." I'm like, "Oh, okay. Thanks." So yeah, I was quite pleased with how it turned out, apart from the recording quality. But I was midpoint of being sick as a dog. I hadn't even had my first operation when I actually did that. I was still waiting for my first operation, so my voice was all raspy and felt like crap. So I'm pretty pleased how it turned out.
We're losing 3D printer noob. Have a good one.
Ciao. Have a good evening, day, whatever time it is over there.
Did you see where Tanera said you need to start using Beatles songs?
No. Beatles songs. I don't know that I'm familiar enough with many. Obviously most of the popular ones, but I might think about it. I was thinking about kind of doing parody raps of other rap songs initially. And someone actually suggested that as well. I was kind of like, yeah, maybe. But it kind of seems odd too, because being Ivan Eve, Christmas Eve, kind of feel like I should stick with the theme, but I don't want to get boring either. I just know Mia always looks forward to it.
Nursery rhymes, children's songs.
Nursery rhymes. Yeah, I don't. How many are there though? I don't actually know that many nursery rhymes, to be honest.
It reminds me of Andrew Dice Clay.
Who?
Get a chance to look him up. Jack and Jill went up the hill, each with $1.25. Jill came back with a $1.95. Little Miss Muffet sat on her tuffet.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, they were pretty nasty ones. They were funny, though. Oh, goodness.
Yeah, I was thinking about kind of just going, kind of Weird Al and doing pop parody kind of things, but at the same time, I don't know. I have to think about it. The good thing about using Christmas songs is they're fairly universal, and I think that's part of the problem. Like if I go with parodying another genre, it's going to limit people who will actually know what it's a parody of, kind of thing.
Yeah, because all you're going to really use is the beat.
Yeah, and like some people who know the song will possibly pick it up, but and it's even kind of hard with some of the Christmas songs, I guess, because I do try to rhyme generally bits of the first lines with the original, so that they kind of tweak in people's heads, because without having the music there, you don't always get it. But yeah, even sometimes people kind of like, oh, which one's that?
Yeah, like Jay-Z's "Can I Get a?" That would be kind of hard to.
Yeah.
You'd have to do a little bit of it and kind of make it click.
Exactly. So, yeah.
Although Pimp from 50 Cent would actually be pretty good. That just the tune by itself would spark it.
Hard to convey a tune in text, though.
True.
One of these days, I might get the balls and actually record them.
That would be cool.
I did say at one point that I would go back and record all of the ones that I've done already. Maybe make like a compilation YouTube video of them or something. I don't think I'll do it with me on camera, but had a few people ask for that, so maybe. Just like
Teresa, if you like it, you should put a spacer on it.
Yeah. Yeah, I can definitely the reason why I thought rap originally was because there's quite a few Snoop Dogg, NWA songs that I could very easily gel with the kind of things that Ivan does and talks about and all that kind of stuff. But
you're talking my language now. The new stuff, yeah, it's all about NWA.
Yeah,
I'm an Easy E kind of guy.
Yep. Easy Does It was the very first rap album I bought, and man, I just loved it to death. It was so good.
There's very few people can match that, I'll tell you.
Yeah. Yeah. Easy was one of a kind, that's for sure.
Yes, he was.
We want Easy. I think it was the first line of that album that really hooked me. Like someone played it to me on a tape, and I was just like, "Oh my god!"
How about the one where the little girl's like, "There was once a dog from around the way, easy."
Yeah. It was the dark and gloomy kind of opening that did it for me. You know, with the kind of Transylvanian vampire style music, and that dude just going, "Good evening and welcome to Easy's Playhouse, you stupid motherfucker." It's like, yeah.
I'm hooked.
I was like, I don't know, 10 or something when I first heard that, maybe 9. So yeah, that was like prior to that, it was like ABBA and musicals and other crap in the car. You know, lots of Aussie pop music that my parents would play that probably nobody's ever heard of. I don't know how my mum ended up liking the music she did. Like growing up, she was like really into like Iron Maiden and all that kind of stuff. And by the time I was born, she was into very sappy pop crap. And oh.
Teresa's saying you're showing your age. You would say, I'm so confused. Is that they're on and about older than I am?
What? Oh yeah, me showing my age. Yeah, I turned 41 this year, I think.
I'm 45, so yeah.
You'd never know it by looking at me, especially when I shave.
Teresa wants to know, where did she go wrong?
That I can't tell you, my dear.
Oh yeah, here comes the typical woman one. I'm almost 39. She's 25. We all know that.
I'm often surprised by how old some people are in this community. Like, quite often, when I first come across people in the community, you just get the feeling they're of a certain age, and then all of a sudden you find out they're like twice the age you expect they are. And like that happened time and time again. There's so many people like who are over the age of 40 even that I never expected. Like I always expected that most of the people who were that enthusiastic and into it would be more 20, 30 kind of range. But yeah, quite a few of them are over 40 by quite a margin.
Yeah. Trying to see what Aaron's talking about here. Let's see.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see. I have no idea. Are you talking about AC/DC? Is that what you're talking about? That's what comes up when I pop that word in.
Oh, Akadaka, yeah. Yeah, that's one one way people refer to ACDC over here.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
My goodness.
Yeah, it's a strange Australianism. God knows why, but yeah. Akadaka is a thing.
Okay, I got a burning question here.
Mm-hmm.
Vegemite. What exactly is Vegemite?
It is, apart from not my cup of tea, I don't know the right way to say it, a fermented yeast extract mixed with God knows what.
TK saying yeast extract.
Yeah, it's made from yeast.
The reason says it's a trap.
Yeah, especially at bloody Sydney International Airport. They showed something on the news recently. They got 500-gram jars of Vegemite in the duty-free section of Sydney International Airport for like $19. You can buy the same thing in our grocery stores for like $5.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and like that's the duty-free price, so you don't pay tax on that. Like, what the? Talk about ripping off people.
The reason says we use it to trick Americans.
Yeah, TK, I could not believe it either. Like, I'm sure you could buy imported Vegemite over there for cheaper than $19. It's ridiculous. I've never seen anything that expensive in my life.
There's a few things we can't get here in America. I haven't seen any Vegemite, and I haven't seen any, what is it, the ketchup Lay's potato chips from Canada.
We've had tomato sauce chips here before, I think, like Heinz tomato sauce.
Really?
Yeah, we get all kinds of strange chips. Like last week I was at Woolies and they've got salted buttered popcorn flavored potato chips and spaghetti bolognese flavored potato chips. What? They just get weirder and weirder all the time.
I realize that there's some people have different tastes, but that sounds like it needs to be banned.
Yeah. I mean, like if you want popcorn flavored stuff, just buy bloody popcorn. Like
I've heard of Tim Tams. I've heard they are really good.
No, not my cup of tea.
Really?
Everyone raves about them, but to me, it's just a chocolate coated biscuit. I don't get the fuss. It's just another biscuit. Yeah.
Do you have Oreos over there?
Yeah.
Okay.
We have several types. We get like little mini ones, and occasionally we get different flavors like cookies and cream, which I don't get. Why the fuck do cookies and cream Oreos even exist? You've got the cookie, you've got the cream, but they put a cookies and cream inside it. What? Why did you even bother?
The whole idea of having an Oreo cookie is so that you can eat the cream off of the cookie.
Yeah. So instead, you split it open, and you eat the cookie and cream, and then you're just like, oh, well, I've had my Oreo. Bye-bye, biscuit. That's just the dumbest thing I've ever seen in my life. Cookies and cream Oreos. That'd be like, having potato-flavored potato chips. Like,
I know.
Why?
That's a Canadian thing.
Maple-flavored potato chips would be their thing.
No, actually, I've never heard of them having maple potato chips, which is kind of odd. You'd think that's what they would have, but I've heard it's the ketchup ones. A friend of mine at work, he goes and he brings these ginger people candies. It's not my cup of tea, but he loves them. And he loves to say, "See, if you eat one of these, you're being a cannibal."
we have ginger bears over here. And they're from like Budrum ginger. They're
I can
not-
tolerate ginger ale, but that's about as much as I can tolerate.
Yeah, ginger beer and ginger ale I don't mind, but the ginger lollies I've not really been a fan of before. Never found the right ones that actually have that nice taste. They all seem to be too real gingery. That's way too pungent for my liking.
Christopher says they have chicken and waffle chips. I've never even tried chicken and waffles. People swear by them. That just does not sound like a good combination to me.
Like, I'd kind of get it if they're a savory waffle, sure. But yeah, when they say it in America, the chicken and waffles, I always just imagine them using like the same waffles they'd have with ice cream.
I keep imagining an Eggo waffle and a piece of chicken. Lego my Eggo and chicken.
There's some weird things, weird foods you guys have over there, which kind of aren't really all that weird on some levels, but I think they're just weird because we don't have them.
I think that's a lot of what it is. Whenever you have different countries, there's certain things that in one country they just don't have in another country. And I mean, if you tried it, you'd probably like it.
Yeah,
I'd probably be the same way about a lot of stuff except for Vegemite. I don't know about that.
yeah.
So I saw my Aunt Nancy said my Uncle Steve tried Vegemite, and the look on his face was priceless.
Yeah. I don't know why. Like, I don't like Vegemite, but we have another one called Promite, which is a similar thing, but different kind of texture. It's a slightly more runny, and it's got a little bit of a sweeter taste. And I don't mind that. But Vegemite, it's just like a mouthful of salt.
Man.
Yeah.
Eggo chicken, Eggo think Oreo style. Eggo waffle, chicken, Eggo waffle. But do you just unscrew it and eat the chicken?
I don't even know what an Eggo waffle is.
Don't you insult our fish. Proper places can almost tell you by the second when the fish is caught. Oh, man. The latest thing is Marmite with peanut butter.
I don't know about that. Like, I haven't tried Marmite myself. My mum always hated it, but I know that it's similar to Vegemite, Promite. The thought of that with peanut butter is just vile.
I've never tried it, and that doesn't sound like a good combination.
Not at all. Now I've had peanut butter with lots of things: peanut butter and banana, apple, honey, jam. But Marmite, oh, I don't know about that.
It's a love or hate thing. Oh, and he can't stand peanut butter. Walker's Marmite chips are good.
Hey, Marmite chips, oh god. We actually had Vegemite chips here for a bit. Hey, Rover.
Rover. Or my Vegemite are basically akin to crunchy and smooth peanut butter.
Interesting. Because mine might have crunchy bits. That'd be disturbing. Oh, God, yes, I do remember they had Vegemite Cadbury. Oh, can you imagine a block of chocolate with a Vegemite filling? Oh,
Oh, that's when you know when to spit it out, huh? The chocolate's gone.
I would not even entertain putting that in my mouth. That is just so wrong. Some people saw that, like, and they got more really weird, like, chocolate flavors coming out at the moment. Like, I think a couple of weeks ago I saw they've got like salted potato chip Cadbury chocolate now or something ridiculous. It's like, my God, give up.
Was it actually made by Cadbury, or did they?
It was a Cadbury craft combination for the Vegemite one. And yeah, Cadbury's just going way overboard with these weird flavors now.
Well, didn't they get bought up by Hershey's?
Don't know. I haven't heard anything about that.
It sounds like some American says, I got an idea. Watch this.
Yeah, that wouldn't surprise me. Next thing you know, we'll have like taco fucking blocks of chocolate or something.
Jeremy, no. You cannot. I love jalapenos. I love M&Ms. But no.
That's not too much of a stretch, though, because chili chocolate has been around for quite a while. Definitely not my cup of tea, though. I'm not a real fan of burning the hell out of my mouth.
She says, hold my beer. Watch this. No, Teresa, no.
Does it say Marmite ripple cream or nipple cream?
Nipple cream.
Oh, God. That just takes me back to bloody basketball.
The Choco Taco. Oh, no.
I don't know. Don't those Choco Tacos have like marshmallow inside them or something?
I forget. I don't. I've never tried one. Oh yeah, Jake. This stream's going to be demonetized. I guarantee it.
Yeah, deep fried Mars bars is a Scottish thing, but we have it here too. I did have one once. Really doesn't make sense.
See, you and saying Kraft, they changed our cream eggs. I believe it was Hershey's, if I remember right, that bought them out, and because they are using a different type of sugar in with the chocolate, so it's not as buttery tasting. It's more of just chocolate. They have a different way they make it.
They might be a bit different over here. Like I heard somebody say that the cream eggs from Cadbury have changed a little, but it's got more of a granular feel to the cream or something.
Yeah, they're using, I believe it's a different type of a sugar. They're using I don't know what it was, but it's something about the crystals are thicker in it than what the Cadbury chocolate has been known for. Because normally Cadbury chocolate, you put it in your mouth, you know the difference because it just melts. I mean, it just makes me drool just thinking about it. I never got a Cadbury egg this year. Rats.
I've never seen the fuss over cream eggs or Tim Tams. I don't know why people think they're just the best thing ever.
With Cadbury eggs, I like those because you can bite them, and then you just stick your tongue in there and just pull all that nice, gooey, sugary goodness out of it, and then just let the chocolate melt in your mouth.
I like some of the flavored eggs, like some you can get with like strawberry filling, kind of like what you'd find inside roses. But the
Yeah.
cream eggs themselves, nah, whatever. I'll eat them, but I don't go crazy for them like some people. I don't know why people really seem to think they're that good, unless it's just the sheer amount of the cream and stuff that's in there.
Yeah.
It's the only thing I can think of.
And it says Cadbury, formerly Cadbury's and Cadbury Schweppes, is a British multinational confectionery company wholly owned by Mondlets International, originally Kraft Foods. Huh. That's I could have swore I heard something about Hershey's.
Yeah, I don't know. I knew that Kraft had been bought out.
Yeah.
Not long ago. There was a big kerfuffle over Vegemite because that's made by Kraft.
Oh, really?
Yeah. All of it was kind of, they were going to ship it off overseas or something, or they're worried they'd changed the recipe or some crap. And then they went through, rebranded all of the like cheese and cream products that they have in Australia. So we used to have like Kraft singles. Now it's all like bigger cheese or something.
Really?
Yeah. Which is really strange because Bigger is actually an Australian company. So I don't know how all that went down, but yeah, there's pretty much no Kraft stuff in Australia anymore. Very strange.
Yeah. Well, my friend, I think I'm going to have to call it. My back is starting to kill me. I think my ibuprofen's wearing off.
Oh yes, that's definitely a good time to start thinking about.
Yeah. Well, my goodness, man, it's been a pleasure having you on here. I appreciate it.
That's been wonderful chatting. I'm happy to do so anytime that I'm upright and not in hospital.
I'm just glad to see you're doing a little bit better, and man, it's just nice to see you upright.
Yes, it's definitely nice to be upright. I've had far too much time lying down over the past 2 months, staring at the ceiling and occasionally at the TV.
Yeah.
Man. Yeah, it'd be good next week if I can start doing some printing again. It's going to be sweet. Back to showing off all my red models. Yay!
Definitely look forward to seeing the pictures of your prints out there. That's for sure.
Yes, it'll be good. Hopefully my printer still works.
It's all hardened. All of it's hardened in the tray.
No, that side of it I'm not worried about. It's more the actual mechanical side. Like I've had my resin sit in my vat for over a month before, and it's fine.
Okay.
Which is, most people wouldn't expect, but I just have a piece of cardboard that sits over the top of it, and that's it. Before I use it, you have to get like a stick blender thing and just whiz it around because all the stuff settles at the bottom, and if you don't, you end up with like sort of semi-transparent prints. I don't know if you can really see that on camera there, but
oh wow,
the thinner bits kind of a bit orangey.
Yeah.
Whereas normal sort of full prints pretty much straight red.
Wow.
So
That's cool.
That's kind of what happens when you don't mix it properly.
Now, does it use laser?
Shit. Sorry about that. No, mine uses a standard like DLP projector that you
okay.
play movies on your wall. And it just sits above the printer and projects the image down onto the vat. And then the build plate just moves down as the layers go. So there's no, like, I can make it sort of project, dip, raise, project, dip, raise, but mine has the added advantage of just being able to continuously move down and basically plays the layers kind of like a movie. So
wow.
I can print, something about 10, 11 centimeters tall in about 2.5 to 3 hours, which you would never be able to do on any other machine.
And
I think it was Graphit or the 3D Print Man recently say they were going to print, I think it was that Magneto head that Uncle Jesse done recently.
Yeah.
He was going to print it on his SL1 at 80%, and it was going to take like 8 hours. I threw 100% into my slicer, and it was like 2.5 hours.
Really?
Yeah.
That's fast.
Yeah. I love it. And the best thing is I could go even faster if I had 2 projectors or a UV projector.
Man.
Like with thin walls, I could probably, with a UV projector, I could probably print up to 8 to 10 millimeters a minute in height. So it's rather quick.
That is. Theresa's asking which Aussie am I going to have here next week. Let's see, is TK still in the house?
TK is not Aussie, is he?
I thought he is.
No.
I'm going to get all kinds of trouble now.
Turn common. No, I'm sure he's not Aussie. You are? Huh. Oh, he's in Wales.
Yeah, he's in Wales.
Not New South Wales, Wales. That's a good, 4,000 kilometers away. No, probably 14,000 kilometers away, maybe. I'd a guess.
Ewan says he's a Welsh burger. Uh-oh. We're going to start a war over there in England.
Maybe you could get Tessa.
I had Tessa last week.
No, not Teresa. Tessa.
Tessa. Oh, yeah. Does she even do anything on YouTube anymore?
I haven't seen her do anything on YouTube, but she has, like...
I haven't seen her in a chat or anything forever.
Yeah, I don't know whether she'd be up for it, but she is active on Twitter still.
I'll shoot her a message and see if she's interested.
I'd be keen to see what she's got to say if she's up for it.
She's got the little one, didn't she? Just have another one here about a couple weeks ago.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah, I know it was due soon, but I'm not sure exactly when. So that might be a factor, but we can do fast.
Teresa says, I think she just busted a belly ninja. She did that. Oh, man. I'll send her a message to see if she's interested.
That'd definitely be cool.
Keep it in Australia for a few weeks if we can. I'd shoot Angus a message, but I don't even think he'd even know who I am anymore.
Maybe. I don't know. There's always Mark Rhodes. I don't know if you know him.
What's his name?
Mark Rhodes.
Name sounds really familiar.
Yeah, he did that Star Destroyer with all the fiber optics.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Yeah, he lives in Brisbane as well, I think. And yeah, he's been down to CJT a couple of times. Yeah, probably a couple of others, but I'm not 100% sure. Oh, there's that Lou guy. Can't remember what his Twitter name is. Yeah.
There's another one whose name will remain nameless. I don't know if I want to ask him.
Okay, we can leave it at that.
Yeah. Okay, we're gonna go ahead and end it, guys. Thank you so much for joining us. Sure appreciate it. Guys, have a good night, and catch you next week. And stay tuned on Twitter, and I'll let you know who's going to be eventually.
Cool. Nighty night, people.